Okay, so here we go. See the entire team. There's Gargi, there's Trisha, there's Ogni, there's Aisha. Here's Aisha. So all of us are in Changi Airport. We are on our way to the gate. Trip coming to an end. Rohit and Shubhayan are doing their Hindi live soon. We just had a meal and not time to go back to our respective destinations. The story, Aisha, why don't you just join Trisha aunty? The story that we want to address now is Mohammed Shami. From what we are hearing, Vijay Hazare going very well. It is now just a matter of time before Mohammed Shami makes his international comeback. By the way, Jasprit Bumrah was on the same flight and he's at the Singapore airport at the moment with his family. So he too is on his way to India. And soon after he goes, he will be at the NCA for an assessment. So Bumrah, Sanjana, and the child are still in the lounge, and once they return to India, they will also get assessed, and only then will we get to know the update on Jasprit. But what is important is if Jasprit is not able to play, or it's a touch and go, which could well be. I mean, we need an assessment. We need an assessment. Because of that, it is essential. It is essential that Mohammed Shami gets a look in, because this Indian bowling attack, it was very apparent in Australia, needs a bit of support. And Mohammed Shami 3 wickets in the last game. No. We'll just walk. So our team is basically asking about the gate. So our gate is A18, which is about 7-8 minutes from here. So we are all walking towards the gate. But the point that I was making is Mohammed Shami. Because I do think that Mohammed Shami, even if he's now 90%, he's regularly playing domestic cricket. If you've seen his Instagram handle, the video that he posted, I think Mohammed Shami is 100% ready for a comeback. Siraj has bowled a lot of overs in Australia, needs some serious senior support, because as a backup bowler, Siraj is excellent. But the moment he was asked to lead in Sydney, unlike in 2021, when there was no real pressure on Siraj, this time round there was. And as a result, I thought he was a little wanting, not little, seriously wanting, and there was a problem. So Mohammed Shami can actually fill that gap. Mohammed Shami can fill that gap and can be one who I think will be really handy, and it will not be bad to get him back for the 50-over format, because clearly, 10 overs per game, whether it's the Pakistan game, the New Zealand game, Mohammed Shami there would just be a real handful. And it will also tell us if his body is able to take the rigors of international cricket. Following the Champions Trophy, he will 100% play the IPL for his franchise. And that could clearly give him an indication whether his body is holding up and he can do the England series or not. Because if you also see from what Nasir Hussain and Michael Atherton said in that broadcast, that with Mohammed Shami, they reckoned India would have been a different side. And you kind of agree that with Mohammed Shami, imagine Mohammed Shami on that Sydney wicket. It would have been a real handful. That was the spiciest wicket one can see in Sydney. And Mohammed Shami with Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj would have been an absolute asset for India. Absolute asset for India. Make no mistake, I advocate the inclusion of Mohammed Shami in that team for the Champions Trophy. My team, it is important to also kind of give my team, because a lot of people have been giving. I think it is Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill still to open. A lot of people are saying, why Shubman Gill? Why should he be persisted with? I've seen a lot of social media posts talking about that. But I do think at this point in time, Shubman Gill in white ball cricket in subcontinental kind of conditions, and Dubai is that. Dubai is not very different from what you will get in India or somewhere else. I think Shubman Gill definitely merits a place in that squad. So Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill for me to start off. Thereafter, I will get Yashasvi Jaiswal as my backup opener. I absolutely think Yashasvi Jaiswal as backup opener will not be bad at all, because he has that kind of impact, and we have even seen in Australia that Yashasvi Jaiswal has that kind of impact. So get him into the side, get him into the mix, and give him a go. If there is a problem with either Rohit or Shubman, I don't think Yashasvi Jaiswal is a bad call at all. So he's my third opener. He's absolutely my third opener. Okay, number 4 in the team and number 3 in the batting order is Virat Kohli. I've said this in the past, and by the way, Michael Clark and I, all of you, please go and see the Michael Clark interview on the Rev Sports platform. You can also see Michael's entire podcast, Beyond 23, which the two of us did together. And we have discussed at length about Virat Kohli. Neil, if there are any questions which you want to fire, because I'm holding the phone in my hand as I walk towards the flight. So it's difficult for me to take questions. How was the trip, Boria? I loved your interview with Clark. How you felt after a long time switched your seat? Yeah, interesting one, Shagnik. Yes, he had actually requested me to do this podcast a couple of months back. So I said yes, because Michael has been a friend of mine for the longest time. And he's given me hundreds of interviews whenever I've asked. So it was only natural to do it. And I loved it. Michael is a good host. His team was good. The studio was excellent. Very, very compact, small, but well done up studio in a place called Alexandria in Sydney. And after the podcast, we recorded the Rev Sports interview also, which was always the plan. So I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And the interview has already gone pretty viral. If you see, his comments on Virat Kohli are being debated. Not everyone needs to agree with everything, and that's never the point. So his comments are being debated and discussed, and that's what you want from a podcast. What is it? Bumrah update. By the way, he's here. We were in the lounge. He's with his family in the lounge at the moment, and Shormishta is still there. I wanted to do the live, so I just stepped out. But because he's with his wife and child, I absolutely will not take visuals, because that's not done. It's a private space. We will not take visuals. By the way, he's still in the first class, the business first class lounge, Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer lounge. So he will also be boarding for Mumbai in a short while from now. Our flight is at 8:40, which is about an hour 5 minutes, Singapore time, that is. And I think his flight will be thereafter. So that's the Bumrah update that I can possibly give you. Coming back to my team, I think, what is this? Will Shami in the 15-man squad? And can we see Bumrah Shami duo? Yes. That's exactly what I was talking about, my friend. I was talking to you about Mohammed Shami. I do think, from what I've heard, seen, spoken to sources about Vijay Hazare, absolutely Mohammed Shami now is ready to make an international comeback. 100% yes. I do think India will miss a trick. I do think India will miss a trick if India doesn't get Mohammed Shami into the mix. So the answer to your question is yes. I think they should get him back. I think he merits a place. Can we see Bumrah Shami duo? It will clearly give us an answer how fit he is after the Champions Trophy, and thereafter you can see or talk about the Bumrah Shami duo. But if Shami holds, his body holds for the Champions Trophy, and he plays the IPL well, no reason why. And by the way, if he doesn't play the 5 test matches in England, I'm okay. As long as he plays 3 test matches, you should take him, because the kind of impact he will have on the 3 test matches will be less to none. Scott Boland, for example, played the 3 test matches. And by the way, here's the team. They're all going through. There you go. See? That's the team. No. Not doing video. This is my show that I'm doing live. Not doing video at all. So Not video at all.
Wandering around here, Dolly pa outside.
Okay.
Dolly outside.
So Kohli play county cricket. Is it true, Boria? I think that is a possibility at the moment. Uh, Having said that, in fact, Harsha Bhogle and I were sitting next to each other on the flight today, and we were chatting about this. I don't think Virat Kohli playing Ranji Trophy at this point in time makes any real difference, because soon after the Ranji Trophy, he will have to play a lot of white ball cricket, be it the Champions Trophy, be it the IPL, be it everything else. He will have to play a lot of white ball cricket. So even if he plays a couple of Ranji Trophy games, I don't think it will make much of a difference at this point in time. So I both of us agreed actually. I said he should go and play for India A against the England Lions. Harsha was of the opinion, will he? Because straight after the IPL, will he not need a bit of rest? So these are critical questions. What will he do? County cricket, I do think, in fact, you know what? I actually think the fact that India has not qualified for the WTC final is good for India. Because straight after IPL, the WTC final would have been once again in 10 days' time, and you would not be ready. Here, you will get an additional 2.5 weeks from 25th May onwards till 20th June. So effectively, the WTC final not being there for India means you have an additional 2 weeks. You can get ready for that England series. It will be a tough series. It will be a tough series. So 5 test matches, India can be ready. First test match in Leeds. I think India will make use of those. If you ask me, I see Shubman Gill, I see Rishabh Pant, I see Virat Kohli, I see a lot of the batters to England straight after IPL. If you ask me, they should play for India A against the England Lions. That's how they should prepare. But going down that, will we see Nitish Kumar Reddy in that side as a backup to Hardik Pandya? Will we see Arshdeep Singh? Will we see Mohammed Shami return? Will we see Siraj? Will we see Ravindra Jadeja, or will we see Akshar Patel? So the Champions Trophy squad, these are the points of interest that I have. Will we see Ravindra Jadeja in white ball? Can Washington Sundar come in as the off spinner, because he's the lone off spinner there? What about Varun Chakravarti? Is he 100%? Kuldeep Yadav, is he 100%? Because Kuldeep Yadav, the selectors were waiting on Kuldeep Yadav. On Kuldeep Yadav's fitness. So these are critical questions that the selectors will have to address. Today is the 9th. The team will be announced on the 12th, which is one day before, and you can change. So get in a Jasprit Bumrah. As I said, he's here at the Singapore airport. He was in the lounge with us. And obviously it's family time, so none of us, Shobishta, me and Aisha, we were there. So our family, he was with his family. So obviously there's no question of taking any visuals or anything like that. No point. Harsha and I, we were chatting about what they should do with Bumrah as well on the flight. So these are critical points. I do see among the spinners, whether you see somebody like a Washington Sundar, a Varun Chakravarti, a Kuldeep Yadav, who does India go with? That's a Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel. You have plenty of options there, and this is going to be interesting because Dubai conditions. I think Akshar Patel will be a real handful. I think Akshar Patel should certainly make that squad. Give him, because he's a good white ball bowler. He will score a lot of runs for you as well. He's a good batter. So I would definitely pick Akshar Patel. Kuldeep Yadav, wicket taker. Any condition, you must go with a wicket taker. If Kuldeep Yadav is 100% fit, go with him. And I want Yashasvi Jaiswal in that squad, by the way. I'm continuously saying this. Yashasvi Jaiswal in that squad will be excellent because he is ready now. You have seen him in test match cricket. You have seen him in white ball cricket. You have seen him in multiple formats. Yashasvi Jaiswal is ready to rock and roll. Get him in alongside a Rohit Sharma and a Shubman Gill, because I do think these are, this is the way forward for India's white ball future also. As far as Virat Kohli is concerned, do I see him in the England squad? I do, but I absolutely want to see him go and play for India A. He has to be in England for a good 20 plus days to get used to red ball, to get used to English conditions before he plays. So IPL ends and he goes, because this WTC final not being there should just work for him. By the way, folks, our flight will start to board in the next 5-10 minutes. So I'll end this live here. On our way to Calcutta, we'll reach around 10:30 p.m. at night. So tomorrow and day after, we will focus on the derby, the Mohun Bagan East Bengal, and of course on the Champions Trophy selection. Also, HS Pranoy lost a heartbreaking match against Li Shifeng I was following from the flight 23-21. Traeger also lost an 82-minute match against the Chinese. So two encounters against the Chinese, both going down to the wire. Satwik and Chirag play tonight. So watch that. I'll be back tomorrow from Calcutta. Thank you very much for your support. Keep watching.